the 7 elements of trust. What's really cool, and I think you and I, like, let's walk through each individual one, because I don't think anybody can disagree with it. Right?
Right.
It's almost like it's rules. You can't.
It is, right.
Whether you like it or not,
Yeah.
it's the rules. So you don't have to like them, but it doesn't matter because it's just a fact, right?
Yeah.
An aspect that's really cool is how. So I've had the opportunity to work in a lot of industries. I was part military. I worked in the film industry. I worked in the corporate industry. Now I'm a business owner, entrepreneur. So I've seen it from many different things. And the common trait of everything that you just talked about is present in all of those.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like it's crazy how full circle it is, right? Because people challenge it all the time, I would think, right? I mean, I challenge it for a very long time, but then seeing it play out and then hearing it again and actually listening, right? Like actually listening, not just like going, okay, yeah, I got it, gotcha, just to push it off. Actually listening and paying attention, it's full circle. It's like, yeah, this is what happened in the military, or this is why people have predominant careers in the military. In the film industry, this is why people have predominant careers in the film industry, because they're able to be trusted. Same thing in corporate. And there's a reason why there's all this. Actually, I'll challenge that. Maybe there's a reason why there's not so much leadership and good qualities in corporate, because it's hard to trust people in corporate, right? That idea.
Well, I think that they just don't realize every single thing in life, doesn't matter what field you're in, doesn't matter if you're a teacher, you're an engineer, you're a guy that cleaned the floors in a building. Everything starts with other people liking you and trusting you. If people don't like you and trust you, no one will work with you. Have you ever worked long-term with someone that you don't like and you don't trust?
No, it's forced, right? Like, I don't think you voluntarily do it. It's just like, oh, I have to do it because it's appointed. In the past,
sure,
like I would
but
talk about,
you would get out when you can. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
You'd run when you can. You know, I don't think anyone would basically do it long term. You know, long term means like a career where I'm going to work with someone that I don't like and I don't trust them, but I'm going to keep working with you.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, right? No one would do that. So if you just simply start there and go, all right, every area in life, whether it's at home, it's at work, whatever you're doing, the key in the beginning is to gain people's trust in you and that they like who you are. And that's it. It's so simple. And trust it. There are these 7 elements. The reason you said that they're laws is because Brene Brown truly broke them down in scientific studies that she can prove these are the laws.
Yeah.
They are irrefutable. It's like John Maxwell and his 21 laws of leadership. No one can go, not really. you know, and it's like with this, like integrity. Of course, if someone doesn't have integrity, no, you can't trust them. If they don't follow through, no, you can't trust them. You know, it's just that simple. And what I think the biggest trap that people fall into when it comes to trust is they think it's that gossip part. That's why that was the longest segment in that podcast. Because people think I can talk to you bad about someone else.
It's not going to come around.
Right. And I can gossip with you. And meanwhile, you're going to walk away and you're going to go, you got to be careful of that guy. You may not even realize that thought's happening, but you'll definitely withhold information from me in the future because you may think, you may not even realize he might do it to me. And that's what happens. If someone's gossiping to you, they're gossiping about you, period.
Interesting.
That's the way, that's another law of life. If someone's gossiping to you, they are gossiping about you.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. This is why, if you ever met someone that does gossip and the next time you're around them, it just feels weird and uncomfortable, it's because they were talking about you to someone else.
Interesting.
That's the reason. If you're in a room and they go, why do I feel so weird with them? It was so awkward to be around them. Yeah, it's really difficult to feel natural with someone if you're just bad-mouthing them 2 days later to someone else.
What makes me wonder, right? Because I feel like I'm a victim of gossip, but I'm also one of those people that like, I don't want to say I partake in gossip. Like I hear it, but I'm also the same person that then goes to the person that may be gossiped about and go, hey, just so you know, this is what's going on. Like, it's not like, you know what I mean? I don't keep it behind. I don't know. I feel like people use that to their advantage where it's like, oh, it's kind of like a blackmail, right? Like I think people that gossip, it's like, I heard this about this. And then they try to leverage it maybe to get it. I mean, it's like, I hear the gossip and it's like, well, I want to know if it's true or not, because if it's not true, then I'm not going to, because if it is true and the gossip is true that they're talking about, then I want nothing to do with you. But I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt by at least coming to you first before I continue to go into it. So maybe that's not gossip. Maybe it's just more like verification and confirmation.
I think
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I think all of us, have at some point failed with gossip. I have, you have, we all have.
Absolutely.
Everybody. There is one person in my life that never has. I've never seen him do it. His name is Dick James. He's my attorney.
He's also, I was going to say, he's a lawyer, right?
He's a lawyer. He's a judge. Dick, Dick's known me longer than I've known me. You know what I mean? Like he knew me since I was a little baby. In all the years I've had thousands of conversations with Dick. I've never once heard him talk about another person, ever. And it's like, it is one of the best lessons in life. You know, they always say, don't pay attention to what someone's saying, just watch what they're doing. And Dick has got it right when it comes to this stuff.
Do you think it's because his life is primarily based in law?
I think so.
Right? Like, unless it's written,
Yeah.
unless it's confirmed, it's like everybody can talk, but
Yeah.
show it to me on a piece of paper. If it's not on a piece of paper, okay, cool.
Well, I've also asked his wife. I brought this up with her one time at dinner, and she goes, "Oh, Randy, he doesn't even tell me half the things that are going on. Not half, all of them."
Wow.
And he goes, and he sits there smiling, you know, and she goes, "You know, I get it though. I love the guy, and I can trust him wholeheartedly because if he's not willing to do it with me, he won't do it with anyone."
Wow.
Right?
That's a cool quality to
Isn't
have,
it neat
right?
stuff?
Yeah.
It's so good.
That confident. Yeah, that's a cool quality.
Yeah, really, really love it. But you know, the element of gossip, the sentence in this talk where it goes, people think they can cheat their way and hotwire a connection to another person through gossip. That's what gossip is. They're trying to hotwire a connection because I can develop a quick connection with you of something bad about someone else.
Oh, they find the common ground.
Right.
It's about, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can see that.
It's the common ground intimacy that we will have over the ugliness of something else.
Like a mutual hatred.
Right.
Wow.
There's no relationship there. You know,
What's built on falsehood or in
ugliness.
Something, yeah, it's built
Right,
on ugliness. So
right,
there is
right.
nothing positive or
Right,
good about that relationship. I can see that.
Right. And you know, I've learned this though, when it comes to trust and gossip and all this stuff, the words that I speak, it only speaks to the condition of my heart. And the words that anybody else speaks only speaks to the condition of their heart. So if someone is gossiping, I actually feel bad for them because you can only get what you got. If someone's got crap in them, they're going to be putting out crap, right? I mean, it's not to be mean, but it's just the way it works, you know? So you shouldn't be angry with them. They're doing the best they can with what they have right where they're at in their life. This is what they know. But you also got to remember that the smallest minds in the world will talk about people. The next step up is they talk about things. Next step up, they talk about ideas and so on. So we want to be the people that are talking about ideas and not the people. So if you're ever caught in a scenario of gossip, you know, I wouldn't be confronting them going, "Hey, you shouldn't be gossiping about this person." I would just try to end it softly and walk away. You know, because there's never healthy bonding in gossip.
Yeah, I feel like it can't. You're setting yourself up for failure. You want to break them down? Let's go through all 7 of them kind
Sure,
of
yeah, you wanna do
individually.
that?
Yeah, let's see.
Okay, so
Only because I want to attempt to challenge, right? Because like I try to look at the both sides of the equation. So, because again, I don't think anybody would disagree with you on any of these.
Right.
And those that do are clearly misinformed.
Yep.
But I want to try to see it from a perspective of somebody else that could challenge it.
Sure.
Who knows? If I don't, then it doesn't matter.
yeah, so to be trusted, you have to have healthy boundaries.
Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Right? Simple stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't people have healthy boundaries?
A question to me. Okay, so
what do you think?
I think more people are worried about. Excuse me. Wow. I think more people are worried about what other people think about them than they do than they care about themselves. So they would rather put themselves in a situation to make themselves look good or something like that, and that goes against what their boundaries would be. Right? Like if you live your life based on the perception of other people and how other people view you, it's a negative way. But I do think a vast majority of people even in society do that. And by doing that, it causes you to have to go a way above and beyond your boundaries. Because what boundaries realistically would be accepted by you aren't necessarily accepted in society. And people don't want to be judged, casted out, things like that. So the healthy boundaries kind of go out the window in order to have that relationship and build that rapport with a society when in reality it's fake. Right?
Right. The person with unhealthy boundaries will morph themselves into anything to be accepted from the people around them, right?
Yeah, they would rather do that.
Right. And then when you morph yourself, you're not being the original you. So the people don't even really know who you are.
Yeah.
So the whole thing collapses anyway. And this is why you can't trust someone that doesn't have healthy boundaries, because you don't really know who they really are.
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of neat, right?
Yep.
Okay. So the next one is confidence.
That's tough though. It's tough to be confident in a world that's not confident. Right.
Well, when I talk about confidence, this one it's the ability to hold in confidence what you share with me. So I'm not talking about confidence like, yeah, I can do it. I'm confident in myself. It's that you have confidence in me, that what you share with me, I will hold in confidence. And what I tell you, you will hold in confidence. That's the confidence I'm talking about.
Like I'm confident that for example, if you and I were to do something, cameras are off, recording, things of that nature, I would be confident enough to know that what conversations we have
Hmm.
would be in the confines or the
Yep.
confidence of you and
You got
I
it.
don't need to worry about you running around and telling somebody else.
You got it.
I see what you're saying.
Yep. Yep.
The
'Cause
Dick James that's
you got it.
the
Yeah.
concept.
Yeah. That basically it comes in and it never goes out.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yep. Okay. So the next one would be accountability.
Would confidence and accountability come
No.
hand in
Well,
hand?
this is trust. Trust and accountability.
Okay. Well, yeah,
So
you need to be accountable.
Mhm.
You have to be accountable in order for you to have the trust. Because if I can't rely on you to do the right thing, then the
Mhm.
accountability aspect goes out the window.
Mhm.
Would confidence and accountability go hand in hand, do you think?
I would think, yeah.
Right?
I think all these,
Like they have to.
yeah.
And if you hold somebody
Mhm.
accountable and they are holding themselves accountable, then you're confident that whatever you guys talk about or whatever you guys do,
Mhm.
you know that you're in good hands.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, in this element of accountability, what I'm talking about is if I do something wrong,
I'm going to hold you to it.
and also I would be willing to come to you and say I was wrong. I'm really sorry. What can I do to make it better?
Okay.
Basically, you own an apology. You own that element. You're willing to say my ego is not so big that I'm not willing to come to you and say I'm sorry. What can I do to make it better?
Oh, that damn apology one, man.
It gets us every time.
I'm doing it. I am doing it, but it gets me every time because sometimes I truly don't think I really, and I'm coming around to it. Diana and I still clash about it. I love you, honey, but there's just sometimes where I'm like, man, I really don't think I owe an apology here. And I look at it from all angles and I'm like, I really don't, I didn't do anything wrong.
Mhm.
So that I understand it in the realm of to have a trusting relationship and holding yourself accountable in that regards. But man, that apology one always gets me.
Mhm.
It does.
Mhm.
It does. I'm a victim of it.
Funny.
I am.
Funny. The next one was trust and integrity.
Mm.
Without integrity, someone cannot be trusted. And integrity is choosing what's right.
Yeah, when no one's looking.
Right.
That's something I hold true. So when I was in the
Mhm.
military, that was something, it's integrity. Integrity first, service before self, excellence in all that you do. Those are like the 3 core values of the Air Force. And I like to believe at least that I've taken those core values and qualities because I think that makes a good quality of a person
Mhm.
and try to put them into my day-to-day life
Mhm.
across the board everywhere.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that one 100%.
Integrity, in a lot of ways, integrity exposes what you do when no one's looking. Because if you cheat when no one's looking and you
Oh,
don't have
yeah.
integrity, you'll be exposed when you're in front of the crowd, or when you're in public.
Mm,
Basically, what you do in private, one day you'll scream on the mountaintops. That's integrity.
that's frightening
Right.
though.
Right?
Right.
It happens everywhere. I mean, this gets exposed in business a lot of times. People will make decisions in their kitchen thinking that, well, I can make this decision and cheat a little bit here and there, and no one's going to know because I'm in the kitchen, no one's around. Then business plays out, and 6 months later, the business is just in a big mess, and what they did in the kitchen is now exposed to the world to see.
That's scary.
That's integrity.
Is it done deliberately though, do you think?
Not by the person. They think they can hotwire
That's what
life.
it is, right? They think that it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it's a deliberate aspect. It's just one of those things where it's like I think I run into those situations all the time where I'm sitting down and I'm like, I think this would be beneficial. And let's watch it play out, right? Like I
Mhm.
do that. I don't think maybe I'm cheating on it, but I see what you're saying in that
Mhm.
regard,
Mhm.
where it's like I'm going to do it and I'm going to try doing it and I'm going to find my way there without
Mhm.
doing it the right way,
Mhm.
right? Like I'm going to take a 4-year process and turn it into 6 months.
Right.
And then
Right.
all of a sudden you find out the exposure and you're like,
Mhm.
what cannot be done in 6 months, but now I have to figure it out. And it kind of self-implodes on itself.
Yeah. And a lot of people, they brush this stuff off. Integrity, being dependable, having a good reputation of the community that you're in. I had a conversation with a guy the other day, and we were talking about some challenges he's having. And I said, but I would make your decisions right now based upon your own long-term peace of mind. I would just simply do the right thing right now. And I said, and also your reputation could be on the line here. And it was kind of like, I don't know. And I thought, boy, no, that is so important because what other people think of you is exactly who you are to them.
Mhm.
It is that simple, So anyways, all right. So the next one is non-judgment. Trust and non-judgment. So in a relationship, where non-judgment exists, I can trust. If you're going to judge me, I'm not going to trust you so much.
I see.
Right.
Judging based on the decisions, would that be safe
Yeah,
or just
yeah.
because people are making decisions based on the information they have at the time, and they're making the best decision that they believe to be right at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You like to think so, at least,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not judging somebody based on the information that they have at the time.
Yeah.
Therefore, I can trust you on that.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Here's an example. It played out, I think, yesterday with Tiff. I hurt her when it comes to this.
Uh-oh.
I've apologized to her. Yeah, the judgment. So what happened was at the winery, we have a security system there. And I was always opposed to upgrading it to these crazy numbers of expensive security system. Tiff wanted to have it done. Matthew was also on Tiff's side, right? So they're kind of arguing with me and going, guys, I don't like it. I hate it. In a world where everybody trusts everybody, it's very efficient. You don't have to spend money, but I get it. We live in a world where you can't trust some people out there, but I just think it's ridiculous to go so big. I go, but if you do it, don't show me. Don't talk. I don't want to hear it. Don't tell me the numbers. Don't tell me the expense, nothing. They did it. I don't know the numbers. I don't want to know because I'd be frustrated, probably angry about it, right? So just don't give me the information. Then I get an email of extra bills on top of what bills that they already paid. There's 2 of them, big bills. I forwarded them to Tiff, just forwarded them on to her. And then she wrote me back saying, didn't we pay for everything? I go, I thought we did. And I said to her, I go, this is why I told you not to do this. That was me judging her in that moment. And I was wrong in that moment. I shouldn't have thrown it back in her face. She was already hurt enough. And I went to her and said, I'm sorry I did that. I shouldn't have done that to you, love.
Wow. And then there's the accountability for apologizing. You sound like a very trustworthy person, Randy.
No, I don't know. You're funny. You're funny. The last one is generosity.
Generosity. I think that makes perfect sense. That like ties it all together.
It does, yeah. Yeah. Trusting and generosity. Yeah. I mean, if you're a selfish person,
there's no generosity in selfish
there's
people.
no generosity. You're not willing to carry your own weight, in life, in a relationship. You're a taker, not a giver. That person, it'd be pretty tough to trust that someone, with the keys to your life.
Well, it's impossible.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
I'm with you.
Wow. The 7 elements, man.
Neat stuff. Yeah. It takes trust and breaks it down. It's all Brene Brown, by the way. I mean, she really has this nailed down, and it's, you can find this on a TED Talk, and it's the 7 elements of trust. I love how she breaks it down to how these are measurable. You can actually take these things and go, yeah, I can measure your generosity by what you do. I can measure this stuff, and the more of this that you have nailed down, the more trustworthy of a person you are.
Incredible. Thank you, Randy.
Thanks, Ralph.